Hey y'all, today I'm going to be showing you how I created these dynamic sports double exposures in Canva. So the first thing we're going to do is pick out whatever ball or instrument that's used for your sports team. So we're going to do football. So I'm going to go over to Elements, I'm going to go and type in football. I used photos and I grabbed this one. It's a pro one. If you're on free, so there's not really any good free ones that I saw. So I went over to Canva AI and was playing around with trying to make my own footballs for that. That one actually came out kind of good, but then when I put the pictures on it, that's not going to go. But you could probably make an AI one if you don't have access to a football image, or you can source it from somewhere else. That's up to you. So now that we have our football, what we want to do is get our three images that we want to use, or how many images you want to use. So you're going to probably get something you uploaded. So I am just going to go and I am going to grab him because he's the closest to. I just try to go into Canva and find something that was three that was kind of close to look the same. You know how that can be. So these three kind of look the same. So what I want to do now, I want this one as my main image and these two as my sides. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to apps. I'm going to click my main image. I'm going to head over to apps and I'm going to go and get image blender. And it's going to be this purpling pink one right here. So we're going to click on that. I want to remove the background on all three. Remove the background. And if you're going to do remove the background and you're free, you can use something. There's some apps within Canva to remove background. And there's also a site called Remove BG. There's all kinds of places you can go for free and remove your background. And just bring it back into Canva with a transparent background and you'll be good. So that being said, now I want him as my main one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to linear and then I'm going to pull him down as far as I want to be shown with him. And then you can adjust the strength about how far up you want it to go. And if you want to make sure the top stays kind of bold, kind of pull that up. And then we just want him so he kind of gets to fade into the football. And then once you got it where you like it, you're going to push save. And then we're going to move him and position him wherever we want in that football for right now. We're going to size this down in a minute, so don't worry about that. Next, we're going to do our next image. Now you can stay in here, and I want to do radial on these. So I'm going to click this one. I'm going to click the radial one in there. I'm going to take the middle to the point part that I want to highlight the most. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the strength all the way down to 0. And then when I got it there, I'm going to push save. And then we can tighten these up because we removed the background. We got all that extra space. We're going to tighten that up. Then we're going to go and do this one the same way. Now see it's on radial, but it's not doing radial over here. Just go to linear and then go back to radial and it'll do it. I don't know why that little glitchy thing is right there. So I don't kind of want that this way. And then I'm going to put it all of the strength all the way down. And I think I like it like there. If you want to do more like his helmet or this way, but I'm just going to do this as a whole. And I'm going to save that right there like that. And I want to flip this one the other way since this is not really, you can see a little bit where it is. Actually looks like 13, so if I flip it, it might be all right. So I want to flip him the other way, this way. And I'm going to pull him down. And then I'm going to line him up in the football. I'm going to do the same thing with him. I'm going to pull him up and line him within the football. And now if you want to, you can put him in the front. If you got a little bit of that helmet showing, you can just make sure he's on top like so. And there you go. And then you can put whatever you want in there. So once you got those away, what I would do is just go ahead and group them together and then resize them down. And then you can add all your bells and whistles. So if you want to see some of the bells and whistles that I used, for the font, I used what I used. Let's go into text, add a heading. I think I did bulldogs for this. I'm going to do bulldogs. I was just trying to think of football names. And I used for my font, I used Yearbook Solid. The color, I try to get something off of him. So let's see, this darker one. I hate when it does that. I gotta do this. Darker one. Do I want to use that? Let's use this other one. Let's use this one. Okay, we'll use this one. And then what I want to do now is duplicate that, make it black, go into effects, do hollow, and put it over there. That to me looks more school. So you can also do this instead of doing a double and an overlay. You can also go and do outline. Let's do that in black. But see the difference? So if I take this one, let's duplicate it so I can show you the difference here. So I'm going to take that one and put none and put this over top. Go into position, throw that on top. And see the difference in what they look like. I feel like it looks more schoolish. See that when you do the outline, it starts like building on the outside. This I'm just putting over top of it, and it kind of keeps that a little bit more sharp than that. I just like it better. I mean, that's a personal preference, up to y'all. So I'm going to group these two together, and I'm going to put them here. So I'm going to go back into effects. I'm going to go to my curve. Now they're grouped together, so both of them will curve together, so you're fine. And then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to take that curve till it kind of goes with my football. And then you can do that. Now, another thing you can want to do if we want to do something and have a shadow to go with it, what I did on the back one, let's see, I'm going to show you another trick that I did with that. So I'm going to ungroup these real quick. And what I'm going to do with this one that's just regular text, I'm going to go into effects. I put a shadow on it. I made it white. And then what I wanted to do next is I put that blur up. And then I want to put the direction where it's up top. So we're going to move our shadow around till it's up top like so. Okay? And we're going to add some more blur to it. And you can work on the transparency and all, but it'll be your personal preference. And then what I did, we'll go back into position. We'll grab our bulldogs. Oh, that's already there. And I'll put that over. And then I'll Control C, and then I'll group those two together. Then I'll go back into effects. I'm going to get that curve. I'm going to go the other way like so. And I'm going to put that down like here. Then I got the bulldogs. And then another thing I did, add a heading. It's John Doe. I love these fonts. They're Amsterdam 1, 2, 3, and I think there's 4 of them all together. But I like these for handwriting stuff. So let's see something that kind of looks a little. There you go. That's a little more boyish. So I can do that. Change it to white. Will it change to white? Nope. I gotta do this. And then you can put that there. And then if you want to do the splatter, what you can do, go over and just use splatter. And then just go through and pick kind of splatter. If you want something like simple splatter like that, but I don't think people like that kind. So what I did with one of them, I like this at the bottom. I'm going to use the same color that is like back here. So I did these kind of big. I duplicated. I think I used this. Let's flip this horizontal. And then we're going to put that there. I'm just going to make sure I cover stuff up. All this is going to move to the back. And then we're going to go back into elements and find some more splatter. Let's see what else. So you kind of want to find something when you do the splatter that's got a good solid piece in it. So say, let's do that. And let's try this one. I haven't tried this one with this. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that one. So let's see, what did I use before? Let's go into our recently used, see all. I used this one. So we can just put this. And then you just want to build it up. What I do with this kind of stuff like this when I got to build them up is I kind of like start spinning them around so it's not all the same pieces, if you know what I mean. And then I'll start moving them around to kind of fill up the area. And then we'll change the color on all of these to this. Grab this. And then what I want to do is take position. We'll grab my first one, hold my shift key down, grab this last one over here, and move all these behind. Oh, there's one behind. We missed. Then move them all behind. And then you can just organize them to kind of fill it up or shape it to where you want it in there. And then if you like it, or group it all together, we're going to move it down so we can see it. And you can do other things like that. Like if you wanted to you can like grab a text box, a heading, number, what is it, 31? 31. Let's do that in year block. Kind of put that there, maybe, and just make that white. Fill in some of that area there. But a lot of y'all are great designers anyway. Y'all are going to figure that out. So if you're kind of like me and you like to do a transparent background or whatever, what I would recommend, especially if you have like white in here, because if you go and do a background remover, sometimes it's going to remove that white, is I use the palest gray. That way that white doesn't get removed. So if a file, download, PNG, download, let's add a page. Let's turn that back to white. Then we'll upload it. And if you know me and seen any of my stuff, I am a girl about some shadows. So I'm going to do the background remover. Oh, see, in the background remover got a little funny even with that. So we're just going to go back in. That's easy peasy. We're going to do restore because it's just pieces that were solid. So it's not like really, and plus you want that splatter effect anyway. So let's go and kind of fill those little splatter spots in. And then once that's done, edit, shadow, drop, distance in. Oh, it got rid of my 31. Hold on, we gotta go back in the background remover. It's still even. Ooh, oh, restore. Look at me. Even with the gray, it even took the white out that time too. So be careful with the white. But as long as it's on like a solid piece that you're using to restore it, there's a big deal there. So now, there we go. And then you have something like that. And then, of course, I made baseball cards with them. You saw some of my other stuff. I don't know. Let me see. Uploads. My uploads are terrible with all these things here. So I made like this. So with the baseball one, took the image and put it inside and just kind of made a faux baseball card. Something I was just playing around with. So let me put a little shadow on there so it looks. You can see kind of the edge of it. Or I'll just change the background color. And that's how you do that. Easy peasy. It's really easy to do that. You're just going to use your image blender, put it in there, and then make it beautiful like you do. And that's how you do it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm Michelle. Thank you guys for stopping by. I love you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.